Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Thanks, It's Vintage with your hosts, Andrew
and Lydia.
And we are back here at Vino Divino in Kenmore Square, right by Fenway Park.
It's a glorious day.
Beautiful day, not super hot like it was a week ago.
And also not raining for the entire day like it was yesterday.
Oh, gosh, that was a lot. That was so much. Yeah, too much, honestly.
One of the streets in front of my house was entirely flooded.
Oh, no.
There's a clogged drain somewhere.
Oh, gosh. Oh, well, you know, a summer storm. It's bound to happen.
It's bound to happen.
Actually, they're really nice because it helps to, like, get rid of the humidity.
It's cool this morning. It's nice.
I know.
Yeah.
Listen, we need a little bit more of that, honestly. As long as the weekends are nice and sunny, I'll take a rainy, stormy day in the middle of the week.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But now we got blue skies.
Now we got blue skies, and we got a new drop from a very famous name, and that is our topic of today. Get ready, everybody. We're talking about the Michelin Guide.
Yes.
I know. This one was a surprising one for you.
Look, I live under a rock for the most part. I think I had heard something about Michelin, kind of leading into wine, but did not know this was coming.
Yeah. So we're going to discuss the list that just dropped, what this is all about. So as everybody knows, Michelin has been doing these ratings for restaurants and for hotels. Those are two areas that people know. So that the Michelin keys for hotels and, of course, the Michelin star for the restaurants.
Which Boston's got
one, right?
Last year.
And just to give a brief overview so everybody's on the same page on how this works, how Michelin works. Michelin employs experts in those areas. So they employ hospitality experts for the hotels, and they employ restaurant experts for the restaurants. I imagine there can be some crossover. Hospitality is restaurants and hotels. That is the hospitality world. And so they employ these experts. These experts only work for Michelin. No one knows who they are. These are people who literally lie to their family and friends about what they do for work.
And get paid very well.
Very well to do it. And then they go and they rate these places. The thing about this is Michelin doesn't have one person rate a place. They have multiple people rate a place. So it won't be one person who's from Michelin staying at your hotel. It will be multiple people. And the same goes for restaurants. It won't be one mystery diner. It will be multiple people. They all take their notes, and that is how they then come together afterwards and decide on the ratings for these places. They are judging on quality. They're judging on consistency. And that is the same when it comes to wine, which is what they've decided to start doing. Just like hotels and restaurants, this is region-based. So here's a big difference we can start off with.
Yes. Very
important distinction. If you know the 100-point rating system,
yes,
which everyone has seen, this wine got 94 points, this wine got 92 points, this wine is a perfect 100, right?
And there are various magazines and enterprises using this system today.
Exactly. And those, by and large, there's maybe like one or two exceptions in there, but the vast majority of them are and everyone knows this term, so we're just going to roll with it, right? They're a pay-to-play system is what they are. These are publications. These are institutions that require money to keep running. So what do? They have you, the winemaker, actually pay them to rate your wine. And this is why you'll find that there are wines that are not rated because somebody has chosen to not submit their wine because they don't want to pay for that, right? And then you have especially larger winemakers, corporate-backed winemakers.
With spare cash.
With a lot of spare cash. And they will pay for them because the other benefit of this is that most of these publications then let you use the rating that they gave your wine for a fee.
Always a fee.
Always a fee. This is why it's a pay-to-play system, right? They also want that fee as well. There is a slight incentive. Now, they do it blind, and some of them say that they have these quality control standards. I do think some are better than others, but at the end of the day...
And let's not throw the wine critics under the bus because they're doing their job.
They're doing their job.
They're rating the wine.
Yes.
And they're giving a fair assessment for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are, pressures that we don't understand, but for the most part, there are quite a few wine critics out there that work for these publications that I
Yes.
fully trust.
And there are some who run their own publication, and I trust more than anyone. Chances Robinson is a great example, right?
Well, I don't think...
You keep using her.
I mean, we love her. I don't think we can say that she operates within the same pay-to-play system as the 100 pointers.
This is that asterisk I talked about where there are a few out there who are a little different.
Yes.
But Michelin, they don't do this pay-to-play system based on the individual.
The individual winery, yeah.
Yes, just like restaurants, just like hotels, what they do is they come in and there's a larger region or a city, for those other two categories that will pay Michelin to come in and do the ratings.
Which is what Boston did.
Which is what Boston
we
did.
Had never paid for last year.
And now we did.
And now we do. And we have 1 star.
Yes, we have 1 star. And we got some Bib Gourmands. So we'll be watching those ones closely, right, for next time. Michelin also doesn't get everywhere. They can't get to everything. So they come back over and over and over again, right? And they try to do a couple repeats when they come back. And then they definitely try to hit up a lot more when they come back of places they didn't get to. So this is what Michelin does. And because they're not paid by the individual and they are anonymous and you don't even know if they're going to be judging you, it really allows for a level of quality in those judgments that doesn't exist elsewhere because there are no pressures coming from anyone else. There is no expectation of that you should be giving somebody a good score because they paid you for that score. There's none of that. The other thing too, Michelin isn't judging based on one experience. So the same thing goes for the wines. They are not judging on one vintage. This is we're gonna get a little bit into here, right? How this system works.
Okay. And just to interrupt, was it the Bourgogne AOC that actually paid for this, not just Burgundy as a city, as a region?
Correct.
Okay, so it's specifically the governmental classification.
Governmental classification, yep. Now, of course, I have one thing up and I don't have the other thing up in terms of what they're judging. I need to pull up what they're judging. And I have the list of the wines here, but I want to go over what their benchmarks are. What are they looking for, right, with these wines? So like the keys for hotels, like the stars for restaurants, this one is grapes. It's 3 grapes, 2 grapes, 1 grape.
Yes.
And then they have a
system.
They have a tier below called selected.
Ooh, selected.
Selected.
Okay.
And that's their recommended, but not, not a distinction of a grape, 2 grapes, or 3 grapes. And I think I just found it. There we go.
Okay.
So here's how they do it. Okay, so the grapes, it's exceptional producers is 3 grapes. Whatever the vintage, you can turn to this state. You can have complete confidence in them. 2 grapes, excellent producers who stand out as exceptional within their peer group and region for both quality and consistency. 1 grape, very good producers who craft wines of character and style, especially in the best vintages. And selected, dependable producers who have been chosen for regular review, producing well-made wines that deliver a quality experience.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
How are they classifying the word consistency here?
They're classifying it by vintage to vintage. So actually, that's part of the 5 criteria that they now do, and this is in that here.
But do you see what I mean in terms of vintage to vintage is naturally inconsistent?
That's true. So,
or at least different. They're just rating overall quality.
I'll read it to you.
Please do.
So 5 criteria for the distinctions, okay? 5 criteria. These are the 5 things that they are judging everyone on. Consistency is 1. Wineries will be evaluated across multiple vintages to ensure unwavering consistency in quality, even in the most challenging years. The guide celebrates wines that reveal greater depth and excellence as time goes by. So they're clearly taking into account that vintages are going to be different. But what they're looking for is that there is a quality level that doesn't change, that the winemaker clearly has mastered. And this is a topic we've talked about before, has mastered their craft, and even in poor vintages can produce something of incredible quality.
Okay.
The second of the 5 is balance, evaluation of the harmony between components such as acidity, tannins, oak, alcohol, and sweetness. I mean, this is something that we are judging constantly. Identity. The guide will highlight winemakers who craft wines with a strong identity, expressing a sense of place, the winemaker's personality, and the culture behind them. I love this because what they're trying to do is clearly say in their rating system, in their criteria here, that the wine does express that it is from Burgundy, that it does express all of, that it's from this particular village in Burgundy. But it also still has a winemaker's stamp on it at the same time.
Yeah.
I like that duality of those two.
Yes.
Where you can express and also put your own heart and soul into it and have it showcased, Technical mastery. The evaluation focuses on the technical execution of the winemaking process. Our inspectors are seeking precise and rigorous winemaking practices, producing wines that reflect the terroir and variety without any distracting flaws.
You know what I want to know?
What?
How many of these people are MWs?
I imagine a number of them, because in order to do this, you've got to be...
You have to know everything.
I think that Michelin has hired MSs and MWs.
Yeah.
Which... anyone listening doesn't know, Masters of Wine and Master Sommeliers, which are 2 of the highest and hardest certifications to get in the world.
Yeah. This is just making me want to unmask them.
I know. We'll never know who they are.
We'll never know.
And then the 5th criteria is quality of agronomy. Michelin inspectors evaluate criteria such as soil vitality, vine balance, and vineyard management, essential factors that directly influence wine quality. Now, that is interesting to me.
How are they getting that information without being obvious?
Well, I think that there's something they're doing to go through there. Maybe that's the thing where they have to be obvious. Maybe there's somebody they send in for that alone. I mean, the interesting thing here is, unlike a restaurant, you can't mask that. Like, it's not like you can just change things on a dime and be like, whoa, we know there's somebody out there, so we're going to make extra special care on their dish, right? Like, you can't do that. The vineyard is the vineyard. It's what it is, right? They're going to show up and the dirt's the dirt, right? the vines are planted the way they're planted. You can't quickly redo everything, right? So this actually, that might be something where, who knows, maybe that's where you do see, right? Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
this is presenting more questions than it is answering, unfortunately.
I know.
Oh well.
I will say I'm already liking their way of evaluating better.
It's
because it crosses
detailed.
vintages.
Yeah.
It tells you more about who the producer is and what they're doing. And the fact that they take in vineyard management, vine health, soil vitality.
That's really important.
I mean, that is something that the 100-point system doesn't even touch on at all.
No.
Because the 100-point system is just based on how it tastes and feels on the palate. Yeah. Nothing else. This is like a full-fledged, who are you as a winemaker? How are you representing the region? Is this wine feel like it comes from a sense of place? Like a Barolo could have 100 points and it could still not feel like a true authentic Barolo. It could just be an incredible wine. Whereas here, it's like if they went to Piedmont and did that next, that wine might not actually rate well. That winery might not rate well because it's not meeting one of those criteria, that's what I'm kind of loving about this. So they went to Burgundy. They didn't go to Chablis. I noticed that in here. They hit up 90. They have 94 places that were rated on this list. There's clearly more to go. But
did they do the Macon?
They did not do the Macon either. Yeah. So they got to come back. Well, that's the thing.
Right.
This region is it's pretty big with the number of producers, right? And long, and they're not going to hit up everybody. 37 in the Côte de Nuit, 54 in the Côte de Beaune, and 3 in the Côte Chalonnaise.
Okay.
9 9 received 3 grapes, 20 received 2 grapes, 33 received 1 grape, and 32 received the selected status. So, 3 grapes. There are some names on this list we should definitely point out right away. Domaine Leroy. Anybody who knows, you know what? We're going to combine that actually because there's another one on here.
Yeah, they're
Domaine Leroy and Domaine de la Romani Conti, DRC. Both of them got 3 grapes. I'm not surprised by this.
unsurprising.
However, these are 2 wines that are never rated in the 100-point system because they do not submit their wines.
Which I love.
So this is kind of like validation that, yes, they are like God tier status wines.
Yeah. They still are.
They still are after all this time.
Yeah.
Like 3 stars means that they hit all of those 5 criteria with flying colors, including the things like vineyard management, which is wild, right?
Also unsurprising, though, in terms of DRC.
I know.
They've been organic and biodynamic, I think, for years.
The other cool thing is on their website, on the Michelin website, for when it shows these places, it shows how many Grand Cru vineyards they have a hand in, Premier Cru vineyards, and how many villages. So they're going all the way down the line here in terms of the pyramid and the different, qualification systems for the vineyards. So Domaine de Leroy has 8 Grand Crus, 6 Premier Crus, and 4 villages. And of course, Domaine de la Romani Conti has 8 Grand Crus and 1 Premier Cru. They don't deal in anything village level or below. They're like, that's too low for us. They're just historically, that is where they've been. They've never been in those other quality tiers in terms of vineyards.
They kind of made half of those quality tiers.
They kind of did, honestly. A couple other names also that are in the 3 grape tier. Not sure if everyone knows who some of these are. Rumière is in here. They are an excellent, long-standing producer. Who else here? Hubert Lamy is in here. Dugat P is in here.
Yeah.
I mean,
none of these are new.
None of them are new.
They've all been producing ridiculous quality. For many, many years.
Yeah. The funny thing is, a lot of these producers are not like old. Actually, there is one in the 3 grape tier that's very interesting to me, and that is Cécile Tremblay, who started their domain in 2003. So
that's newer than I thought.
With a 3 grape rating on this list of all 9, they are the youngest on this list.
Surely those grapes were inherited, though. The vines were inherited.
I don't know.
Surely they didn't.
Taking control of family holdings when long-standing sharecropping agreements with other growers came to an end. Okay. So these are long-standing holdings, but they had never been making their own wine before. They were contracting out. Cécile Tremblay.
Okay, I have heard of that.
Yeah, has 2 Grand Crus, 3 Premier Crus, and 3 village sites.
Okay.
And I'm very interested to get my hands on one of those bottles after all this time. I'm not trying one. I tried one bottle a long while back, but so those are some of the 9 for the 3 grapes.
None of which is surprising.
None are surprising.
They're all established, wonderful producers.
Yeah.
There were some in the 2 grape level that I would have thought would be in the 3 level.
Let's talk about that. So now we're going to the 2 grape level. This is where we have 20 producers who landed in this tier for Michelin in Burgundy. And there are a couple that I am not surprised by, and I'm actually really glad to see they got the 2 grapes.
Yeah.
Domaine de Croix, fantastic wines. Absolutely amazing. I know Burgundy is getting more expensive, but these are wines that are consistently worth the price point, and they drink well above that price point. There's just not a lot of it available in the market here, but they are truly they are a wine to look for.
Yeah.
Domaine de Comte Lafon, not surprised there.
Okay.
Another well-established, incredible producer with, basically centuries of history. But let's talk about one that I know that you're probably a little more familiar with. Domaine Leflevre.
Only got 2.
Only got 2.
Some of the most expensive wines in Burgundy.
Yeah. Very well known for their whites.
Very well known. Very famous.
Yeah.
Very respected. Now, who knows? Like, again, so much goes into this, and I'm hoping that we can say that that is a fair assessment. But it surprised me. It surprised me that they wouldn't have gotten top tier.
It makes you wonder which of the 5,
categories.
Which of the 5 criteria were they lacking on? There's consistency, balance, identity, technical mastery, and quality of agronomy. I don't think it was quality of agronomy because they are certified biodynamic and, they're, certified organic and, they're doing all of those things correctly. They have always been one of those producers in Burgundy that has been on that tier of, taking care of the land and taking care of their holdings. So now I'm wondering which of the other ones is it? Is it balance? Is it consistency? Is it identity? I mean, balance feels like they should be fine with.
No?
Maybe identity?
I would say surely not.
I've had some wines that drink very similarly to theirs, where there doesn't seem to be a difference.
Okay.
And you have to wonder how much of all their wines are they being judged on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't know which bottles were pulled from which of their...
Well, maybe they just don't have the consistency over their red wines the same way they do over their whites.
That may be it.
I don't know.
I haven't had their reds. I've only had their whites.
Yeah, anyway, I mean, it's still it's obviously a great score.
Yeah.
But that one did stand out to me. And then there are some that it's like, good on you guys. You got 2. That's fantastic.
There are a number in here that are good on you guys. Jean-Marc Vincent got 2.
Yeah.
Very good on them. Looking for other names that I recognize. The thing with Burgundy is like you have these names that you can just completely not know if you've never dealt with them. Here's one I do know though. Was surprised to see that they got 2. Dujac. It's funny. A lot of people like to try and put Dujac in the tier of Leroy and DRC.
It gets talked about.
But clearly they are not living exactly in that world according to Michelin.
Yeah.
They are one step below.
And this gets assessed every year, correct?
So,
or is it pay per year?
It's I don't know.
Because I would be very fascinated to see what happens next year if they release this same
I know.
system.
Let me find out quickly actually. I'm wondering if it is. Yes, while other guides did not pay, modern Michelin expansions rely on multi-year paid partnerships. So multi-year.
Okay. So we will get this list again.
So they'll be back. And the question of course is who else have they gone to? Right now it's just Burgundy. They've gone somewhere else. They're not.
There's no way that Bordeaux and Champagne aren't also
close behind.
Unless
they're going to go to another country first.
Maybe. It depends who's paid in what order.
Yeah.
But I would assume that Bordeaux and Champagne, whatever Burgundy does, Bordeaux and Champagne can't be left behind.
I know. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Moving on to one grape, though. This is where there are definitely some surprises.
There were some
big surprises here.
Big surprises.
Chateau de la Tour.
Yeah.
I was surprised they got 1 grape. I would have thought maybe in the 2 grape.
I would have assumed maybe 2.
They are in, they're in the Grand Cru of Clos de Vougeot, and that is their only Grand Cru. That is that's where they work. It's there in Clos de Vougeot. I'm just surprised. This is a producer that does have a bit of a cult following for a reason. Their wines are absolutely excellent, and they didn't make it past the 1 grape. So I'm like, what were they lacking in that 5 criteria? Favely got one grape. This surprised me in the other direction.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they got a grape. And before anyone comes for me, hear me out. Fèvely is a very large producer in Burgundy. They are a negociant producer, though they have some of their own holdings. Because they are a negociant producer, there's a lot that you're working with that is out of your control.
Yes.
And there's equally as much that you're working with that is in your control.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect them, with the amount that is not in their control, to be able to eke their way into a grape. You know?
Same goes for Drouin and
Joseph
Château.
Drouin is on here as one. Yeah.
I would have been surprised if they weren't on the list, but I wouldn't have assumed
I thought they would
go super high.
Yeah, I thought Joseph Drouin and like Fèvely, I thought they would get selected, not a grape. But I mean, listen, there are some wines in their portfolio of, you know, holdings that are absolutely incredible, like standout bottles. Armand Rousseau got one. That's a surprise in the other direction, going back the other way, where I'm like, they only got one? Armand Rousseau only got one grape.
Yeah.
And so did Mayo Casamet.
Yes, that was a surprise.
Those two are on here as one grape. I'm shocked by that. That I was not expecting.
And also in the other direction, Girardin
We're going to have to
got
start.
one. That was, I'm happy for them. That's good.
Yes. We're going to have to start delineating for everyone listening which direction we're talking about. So Mayo
I'm
Casamet.
happy for them.
Mayo Casamet and Armand Rousseau, shocked they didn't get more.
Yeah. And then
Girardin,
very happy that
very
Girardin
happy.
is on the list for one.
Benjamin Leroux,
Benjamin Leroux. Somewhere there. That guy.
very happy they got one grape.
Yeah.
This has been a sneaky one for a lot of people who don't know. It's like,
very
that's a
small
wine,
production.
very small.
Yeah.
But the quality.
Everything I've had. I mean, I've had that particular wine and it was just so beautiful. And it's their entry level.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Stunning wines. Absolutely stunning. Some others that were really surprising here as well. Louis Jadot. Again, surprising as how did they get a grape? Don't get me wrong. They've been around for a while, you know, for a long while. And they are a big negociant.
Drouin and Jadot.
Like Jadot is the negociant that you definitely see in grocery stores with their village level wines and, you know.
Beaujolais Village, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere.
Don't get me wrong. Great value. Those wines are incredible value. I'm just surprised that they
had consistency and balance over everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like to get a grape, I almost said a star, right? It's not restaurants, a grape. You still have to meet a baseline on those 5 criteria. So like,
but maybe they're not assessing general AOC. Maybe they're only assessing Village upwards.
maybe.
Did they say that anywhere?
They don't say that, but what's interesting is they say that for Louis Jadot, they have 11 Grand Crus and 7 Premier Crus, but they don't mention Village.
And they've got a ton of Village.
So my question is,
were they only assessing those?
is that what they tasted only?
Yeah. Interesting.
We're learning as we go through this surprise drop of these producers with everybody. Yeah, because Benjamin Leroux, where are you? Benjamin Leroux, it says 1 Grand Cru, 3 Premier Crus, and 1 Village. Yep, this is what they tasted. Because I'm looking at this list, and I'm like, Benjamin Leroux has... There's a couple others here that are not mentioned. The Village just says Vosne Romani, and I'm like, oh no, he's got some other Villages that I've tasted. So this is what they've tasted. Now we're getting a good sense here. So when it comes to like, if we go all the way back up, let's use DRC as a good example. What did they taste from DRC? Corton Charlemagne, Corton Charlemagne, Corton Echesseau, Grands Echesseau, La Tâche, Richebourg, Romani Conti, and Romani Saint Vivant. And then the Premier Cru they tasted was the Vosne Romani Premier Cru.
Right. Yeah, so they're just getting the best of the best.
They're tasting the best of the best, and they're
not that there are that many more.
I know
for DRC, but
and they're making their quality assessments based on that. So for Vincent Girardin, the villages they did were Meursault, Pommard, and Saint Romain. Okay. And then they have 8 Premier Crus and 4 Grand Crus they tasted from Vincent Girardin. But I love Vincent Girardin, so I'm not surprised by this, honestly. But I am at the same time. Like, I'm glad they got there.
Absolutely head over heels for their Santenay one vintage. It was so ethereal.
The quality on those wines is incredible.
It was so lovely.
So here's the selected. Trustworthy producers chosen for their consistency and quality, on whom wine lovers can rely for quality experience. So these are not you get a great quality level, but they still recommend these.
But they
guys.
recommend them.
And there are some names in here that we do know. Albert Bichot is in here. Maison Albert Bichot.
I'm a little surprised they didn't get one.
I'm a little as well.
Yeah.
They tasted three Premier Crus, Chambol Musigny, Maurice Saint Denis, and Nuit Saint Georges. And they tasted 2 villages, Fixine and Gevrey-Chambertin.
Okay.
Yep. Others that are in here, Bouchard Perenfie. Honestly, was surprised to see it. They're another one where, listen, I like them. I've worked with their wines in the past. I was still surprised to see their wines on the list here.
Okay.
Or see them on the list here.
But
because
again,
they are bigger,
best plots
right.
that they're tasting.
They tasted their 1 Grand Cru they tasted from them was their Clos de Vougeot.
Yeah.
And then 5 Premier Crus, Beaune, Montaly, Nuit Saint Georges, Pommard, and Volnay, and then 1 village, which was Meursault.
Okay.
Hubert Linier is on here as well for selected. Great producer. Benoit Chevalier, another standout producer. Yeah, I mean, there are names on here I also am not fully familiar with.
Boisseau or Guasso? There's like 10 different
Boisseaux. The beauty of
probably
of French winemakers is that there are so many regions where it's like everybody has the same name and they're all cousins. Yeah. They're all the same family. They just, split off at different times in history and now they're doing their thing.
Hilarious. I think legitimately there might be 10 different operations under the name Boisseau.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. This is fascinating, I will say.
It's a good... I'm glad that there is now a new one.
Bordeaux is next.
Bordeaux, yeah, okay.
Yep.
That tracks. Yeah, I am glad that there is a new system that is only rating quality, not name.
Yeah.
It's a good thing for the wine industry.
I think this is a good thing for the wine industry. I think this also starts, this is a system that if we lean more in this direction, I think we can see a price correction coming based on that.
I hope so.
Because here's the thing. The rating system, the 100-point system as we know it, has been used. No one can say it hasn't, because we all know it has been used to define price point for some of these wines.
Yeah.
Some of these wines have fetched, in the world of wine that are, these God tier wines that everybody wants, right? Some of them have fetched price points that are just unreasonable. And it's because of marketing. It's not because of anything else. We know who those producers are.
And maybe some of them started with awards.
Right.
And that is a natural increase of price. But when it gets into the close to the thousands and above, what are you paying for, really?
Right, exactly.
Really, what are you paying for?
Yep. So I think this has there's an opportunity here to adjust pricing. I'm not going to say that across the board. I think some regions it's a little tougher. Burgundy is one of them. There's a limited amount of land. That land costs money.
There's a limited amount of wine that is made from those. So scarcity is always going to jack price up. Always.
But I'm looking at Bordeaux, who's coming next, and they need a massive price correction.
Well, they already are having a major price correction.
And this...
because no one wants to buy their wines. That's an over-exaggeration. But...
yeah. But this rating system could become a great equalizer in Bordeaux. There are, I think that Bordeaux,
it won't be reliant on the classification system.
That's what's going to be fascinating. Yeah. If
all
you
these newer producers who don't get any attention because they're not classified in the first growth system.
I'm ready to see what happens when a first growth or second growth
doesn't get three.
Doesn't get three.
Yeah.
Gets like one grape, right?
At best.
That happens, that's a massive upset, right? That could be a like, whoa, hold up here, right?
Yeah. Because Burgundy, or Bourgogne, we shouldn't really be calling it Burgundy anymore. They have always been defined by terroir. They have always been defined by the best plots of land making the best quality wines.
Right.
And chicken and egg situation also happens to be the best winemakers making the best wine on the best plots of land.
Yeah, exactly.
Bordeaux, not so much. They were tied into corporate money very quickly.
Yep.
They were able to grow in ways that Burgundian producers just can't. There isn't the land for it.
Exactly.
Now, also, Bordeaux is becoming oversaturated, but they had ways of becoming richer that Bourgogne just didn't.
No, most of those producers on the list for Burgundy, for Bourgogne, they're families. Most of them, when you read through that list, multi-generational families.
And not to say they're not extremely wealthy now, but but it's not corporations,
right? So yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same. I mean, there are some things that Bordeaux I'm going to be interested to see. One is identity. A strong identity expressing a sense of place, the winemaker's personality, and the culture behind them. I mean, there are some producers in the classification system of Bordeaux that I don't think actually have a sense of place or identity. They just are because they are. And it's going to be interesting to see.
But it's also easier to gain identity when you've got tons of money and you can buy whoever you want to do good things.
True. But like, this is where some of those smaller producers, the smaller chateaus,
hopefully
they have more of a sense of identity
to be on an even playing field. Yeah.
This could be the great equalizer for them.
I'm hoping just tons of Cru Bourgeois wineries will just end up in the list.
I'm really hoping nice as well, honestly, that you get some really good ones there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
but is it the Bordeaux AOC or is it Cru Bourgeois? Who's paying for this? That's what we should find out.
Oh, that's a good question. Well,
if they're only
here's the thing. Knowing Michelin, I think that it's got to be an everybody situation.
Yeah, surely.
I don't think that they would want to cut out pieces of a region. I think they want the whole thing.
Yeah. And it's a substantial region now.
It's substantial.
Yeah.
And I think by having the whole region, I think that Michelin has a better grasp on, who they're judging who against and all that stuff, right? Oh, well, and here's the best part. They're not even judging someone against someone else. That's what's also great about this. It's not a you or them scenario. It's are you meeting our qualifications? And there's 5 of them, right? And like that's all it is.
It seems rigorous. It does seem they're not taking this lightly.
They're not taking this lightly, and they're the new guy on the block with ratings. So
they're going to have to be very careful.
They got to be yeah. But they've definitely, I think these 5 criteria are definitely carving out a space for them that has been needed. Where it's not based on the vintage, and I think we need to.
It's not based on fame,
and it's not based on vintage or on fame. And honestly, I think that that's been needed. I think the 100-point system
Yeah.
was good for a period of time. I think it's done some damage as of late in the last 20, 30 years. I think it's done more harm than good as time goes on because it is.
Definitely for a period of 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, anybody who's relying
Trying to
on
rectify it after that.
the 100-point system consistently is missing
out on so many
They're
good
missing-
wineries.
They're missing out on so much. And
Yeah.
they're often going to be overpaying. They're often going to be paying for a name and not exactly quality in the bottle. That's not always true. You know, two things can be true at once here,
Yep.
but there's going to be a lot of stuff that they're just paying for the name.
I'm excited to see where this goes.
I am too. It's going to be real interesting. Wait till they get to Napa. That's going to be a fun one.
That is going to be weird.
Because also it's going to be like, who is worth it out there? We know a lot of those prices have gone up for no reason other than marketing, right? So it's going to be a who is actually worth the price.
Yeah.
That's going to be funny to see some of those
Fascinating.
who you might have historically been like, they're A tier. And then they go, yeah, they're on the selected list.
Yeah. Or not on it.
Or not on any list, right? And then you're going to be like, why are they not appearing on the list?
Anyway, I think I hope that this is what I want it to be
Yeah,
for the industry.
me too.
It has the hallmarks of being that way.
I think it does. I think we're looking at the beginning of a new way of judging the quality of these producers. And I like it. I really like it. I didn't think it was going to be Michelin, but I'm really happy.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's get a tire company to rate wine. That's great. Why not?
Why not? They've been rating everything else.
Yeah.
Well, with that,
This was very interesting.
yeah, we'll have to now keep our eyes out for when Bordeaux drops.
Yeah.
We'll go through that one as well.
Oof.
That will be
Can't wait.
interesting. I
Cannot
know.
wait.
Again, I'm hoping it's the great equalizer.
Yep, that would be nice.
But on that
Be
note,
nice.
I think we are ready to sign off here.
I think we are.
So
That was fun.
that was fun. Thank you, everybody,
Thank you
for joining
Wonderful
us.
week.
Hope you're having a great summer. And if
Not
you're
sweating too much.
curious about any of these wines on the Michelin Guide, you know that you can reach out to us at any time. There are multiple ways to contact us. Instagram, our website. You'll find our information all over the place with Vino Divino. So just reach out, ask for Andrew or Lydia, and
Absolutely.
we will help you discover some of these. There are some I know I can definitely get my hands on. There are some where it's like, that ain't happening.
America is far away.
Yeah.
But we can get most of these.
We can get most of these, and we are happy to help. So until next time.
Enjoy your week.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.